Okay everyone, thanks very much for joining me in a little bit of an experiment today. I'm not going to say I'm going to get this right, and there's no way I can do this because I don't practice enough. I can't swing it like Ben Hogan, that's for sure, but I can probably put some characteristics into my swing today just to see what comes out. I'm looking forward to it. So I've got a 7-iron here. So you can see from the behind view I've got a stick in the ground, hopefully mimicking my plain line with a 7-iron here. It may not be perfect, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and swing it flatter than that. So I'm going to see how low I can go today. Remember, it's not just about being low, because then you can kind of release it too much and hook it too much from there. It's about putting some shallowness onto this plane and then sustaining it. So let's see how low I can go from my first experiment. So Ben Hogan was latterly, anyway, what I saw, quite wide away from the ball. He was coiling, he wasn't kind of tilting. But from here he really put some kind of pressure on the shaft by getting into his lead leg, and then it made him kind of really narrow with his arm plane here, especially his right arm. It was so flat. That's what today's all about. Let's see if I can get into this really flat position here, really load it. Yeah, not too bad for the first one. I'm going to guess it probably got a little away from me in the follow through because I haven't practiced, and I probably haven't got the strength and the pivot to hold that. And it's like what Mo Norman said. He was kind of a little bit wider away from the ball there, and he was really putting some pressure. I think he called it the horizontal tug, didn't he? Really got it into this position here. That's what puts that pressure on the shaft. But wide away, so we're not going to go narrow to start with. We're going to go wide to start with, load it, see how flat I can get this, how low I can get it. Oh, that was a bit thinner. Don't know if Trev's in the danger range there. Actually, I'll get him away. So I think Hogan called it tipping the shaft from here. He's like tipping the shaft back. But remember, a lot of this came from the lateral shift and the pressure he was putting. I think that's why he put an extra spike in his shoe. I'll put a picture up. Because the force is into his feet. Bang, it's like his feet. I think he said his foot wants to do this. He felt his foot always wanting to go away from him. He was putting so much pressure down into the ground, and that was loading through his hands, arms, hands, and then club. So when I take it wide and he slices the ball, which is a great feeling, from here I'm going to feel my shifting going this way to allow this club to go behind me and flat. Let's see how flat I can get this compared to that stick. Oh, wowzers. Like I said, the follow through is going to be a bit away from me, but wowzers. Oh, that was ball turf. There's different downswings you can do for this, like the Sam Sneads of the world was probably inside this stick and then outside here, but he was still on plane, still a little flatter as well. So his hand plane was a little bit more out than Hogan's, that's for certain. Byron Nelson was an inside. I think he was a bit draggy, a little bit over, I think. They were all a little bit over the top then, but in a good way, because they were over the top and shallowing it. For ease of use, I like to kind of feel it a little wider away from me here, just to give it somewhere to go. Okay, this time I'm going to focus on my right arm doing this as well. Kind of just a little bit like yesterday's stay down exercise. I'm really putting my right arm in a position where I'm staying down and through. This is where this compression is coming from, you see. It's a lateral shift whilst my right arm is going this way, and obviously club as well, and allowing my wrist to kink back. Obviously, if you golfers are a little bit sucking inside, it's probably not the best one, but a little bit of experiment, a bit of fun today. Right, nice and wide. Oh, that was late. Oh, that was late. Not necessarily in a good way either. Remember, the golf swing's all a bit of a juggle. Spinning plates here, there's a lot of moving parts, isn't there, to do it properly. I'm not going to say recreational golfers should do this at all. And from here, what he did, he kind of really got himself out of the way and held this pivot. Kind of, I think he called it a level pivot, didn't he? Not sure. Let me know if you've got more information than I have. But from here, he really released it with his body. Pew. Really kind of made sure I think he's doing something with his hips, he said. Take everything with a pinch of salt, but there was definitely a level turn with his shoulders going on here. Didn't want his hands and arms going away, obviously. I think he used to do that, used to hook it So from here, oh, this is another plate here and a big one. From here, after me doing this, I'm going to really feel like I'm going to pivot round and sustain that kind of club face down the line. So my arc is going to go a little bit more round, hopefully, for this one. Wish me luck. Oh, it felt more. Oh, there's a lot going on there. More lateral, more right arm, get it as flat as I can, and then really sustain it through the pivot. That's a difficult one for me because I'm a bit slow. Okay, let's see if I can blend all these moving parts together. Oh, well, I'm never going to be as flat as Hogan. I think he was probably about 10 inches shorter than me, maybe. I think he was 5'7", I'm 6'4". So remember, today's video isn't necessarily an instructional one, but there are elements of a swing, and I mention them in the videos that I do, of some of his swings, and he wasn't the best ball striker that's ever lived for nothing. But remember, you can introduce a little bit of his golf swing into yours. I recommend a wider golf swing till about here, and then the setting happens whilst you're moving down. That's difficult juggle to do. So you're shifting as well as your club and your right arm doing this. So you can do this little exercise. So that's a Hogan exercise, I think. So you're really shifting. Remember, your head stays relatively still. It's going to be some movement, but you can see the separation, what's happening here. Really loading that front leg there. And then from here, I can sustain that pivot. You may not need to sustain that pivot. You might need to kind of let the club go, introduce a bit more draw spin. For me, I need to get that belly button working. Wide, shift, pivot. Oh, I slipped a bit. That was going to be my last one, but I'm going to go again because I hooked that one. Oh, because I lost my right foot, I think, there. Hopefully, anyway. Okay, just keep the club outside that stick there. You can put a stick in the ground as well. It's a great visual. So you're missing it on the way back and you're missing it on the inside on the way through by shifting forward and then through. I think I need to put a little bit more shift into this. Okay, let's exaggerate that shift in. Wide first though. Oh, I thinned that one. Oh, that was awful. Let's go again. Right, okay, told you it was hard. And remember, I'm exaggerating this and I'm really trying to put some effect into it, so you don't have to do it. It has to be kind of just subtle, really. I always said to some of my clients, if you change the needle too much, it gets kind of a little bit weird and you lose your timing. But remember, I'm here to experiment. I'll do the dirty work. Okay, wide, shift whilst the club goes back, right arm in, and then I'm going to pivot as hard as I can. Oh, that was the best today. 2 rubbish ones and then a good one. Quite good for me. So remember, look, you don't have to be Ben Hogan to be a good golfer. But like I said, there's a few elements of his swing that you can kind of tiptoe some feelings into your swing, that's for sure. Like drip feed some feelings into your swing, that's for sure. One of the main ones for me is for the golfer who's a bit static and a bit kind of too rotary early on, get some shifting going on. And you don't have to be probably as short a backswing as what I was showing you there and what Ben Hogan is, that's for certain. But these top players back in the day, and it wasn't just him, they didn't have this shift and they didn't have this club going back and shallowing for nothing. They knew that that was one of the, what I would call the pillars of the swing. So remember, we're all different. We all need to layer different feelings in and then how you sustain the release through there. But it's a little bit of fun today and nothing too heavy. Be kind in the comments because I know I definitely can't swing it like Ben Hogan, but I gave it my best shot. So from myself, and Trev, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching and we'll see you then. Cheerio.